Y es algo que
71-year-old Samuel Gomez walks through his broken and deserted house.
se haya levantado armas.
Symbolic of his life after he and his family were forced to flee their 50-acre ranch near the small town of Felipe Carrillo Puerto 3 years ago. Gomez was a victim of the Knights Templar, a ruthless drug cartel in Mexico's Michoacan state. He was forced to pay ever-increasing protection money for the cattle he raised and the limes he grew. But when the cartel tried to take his land, he knew it was time to leave.
Este rancho me gusta, me lo vendes o me lo vende la viuda.
They would tell us, you either sell it to me or I will buy it from your widow, he says. He wasn't the only one living in fear.
Nos mataron gente.
They killed our people, they raped our young women, and they did as they pleased, he says. Hipólito Mora was among the first to fight back. The 58-year-old farmer led a self-proclaimed group of vigilantes that forced the drug cartel out of their town last April. I know I'm operating outside of the law, he says, but I'm doing it for my family just like every other man in this movement. His rebellion became an inspiration for others in the area. Since early January, several other towns have taken up arms and confronted drug traffickers in violent clashes. The cartel struck back, torching vehicles and businesses and killing several people. In the end, more than a dozen towns managed to drive away the criminal organization that had terrorized the region for years. This is the checkpoint at the edge of the town of La Huerta. It's just like many others in towns throughout the region, where vigilante groups control access, letting townspeople in and out, while hoping to keep the cartels from getting back in. They are young and old, farmers and laborers, and even some migrants who have returned from the United States to reclaim what used to belong to their families. This man, who wants to be called Juan, used to live in North Carolina.
In the last couple of months, there's been a lot of violence, and we haven't been able to make any money to support our families, and we all gotta eat. And if we ain't working, we can't eat, so it was something that had to be done.
The Mexican government has sent in thousands of soldiers and federal police to help patrol and control the area. So what's going to happen if the army decides to leave?
Well, we hope they don't leave. We hope they stay here to back us up.
Their fight has given hope to Gomez that life can go back to normal. He knows that there are no guarantees the cartel won't try to come back, but this time, he says, he and the vigilantes won't give up.
Matamos a todos.
They would have to kill us all because we're all going to fight, he says, not only for our lands, but more importantly, for our families. Rafael Romo, CNN, Felipe Carrillo, Puerto, Mexico.